Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode we're going to look at trying something that I don't do very often in my lists, and that is intentionally skipping a turn of deployment. So you might ask why you want to do that. The reason is that the leadership actually stacks up turn over turn. So what I wanted to do was see, is there something that's worth rushing out a bit earlier than we otherwise could, and trying to find a way to just make the most of that. So what we've gone for is a list, and we've built it around Switchback. So Switchback being a 5 cost, it's not all the way up there like the 6 cost units and some of the more challenging ones to play, or even Florio at a 7, but it's a really powerful unit and can potentially put out 6 damage per turn, which is huge for this game. So what we're going to plan on doing is, if we're going first, we play our 1-drop, which is fine. It's going to be the Maximus or Deadeye, depending on the situation, depending on what we want to do. And we've got Astra there as well. Between the two of them, you should have 6 damage per turn if you need to, so you can at least start putting a bit of damage down. Then we skip turn 2, and on turn 3 we just play Switchback. Works out great. We're doing the same thing if we're going second, except we've got 2 units that we can play. Or if we want to, we could play Broken Vengeance first, and then Switchback on a following turn. So I think these are really good options, but it's interesting to see how this works out. To fill out the list, so we obviously went for the 3 strongest early drops: Maximus, Deadeye, Broken Vengeance. Easily top 3 for me. I'd run them in every list if I could, but I'm trying to be a bit more interesting. And then Aria and Hit and Run are actually probably my next best picks anyway. I love Ambush. Getting the position that you want is so valuable. I figured for this list we could use Amplifier Bytoll to just push the damage through. Shrapnel, again, a bit of AoE effect. Same for Detonia. And then I've gone for Neck Divine. Now I don't think Neck Divine is necessarily correct. However, if we've got Astra and we've got something that can move forward, shoot, move back again, we've got Maximus that can do that, we've got Hit and Run that can do that, we can set a little base of operations up and just start trying to get a bit of longevity out of it. So I don't think we're going to use Scattervine very often, but I think there are situations where it could be good, and I think in general what we want to be doing is try and win the game without even having to use it. So the reason I went for Switchback as well is if we use the rapid fire, we can go ahead and shoot, we can use Astra, refresh again, and potentially get 12 damage out of that unit in one turn, and with 8 health, 8 health, pretty tanky. It's going to take a little while to kill, so hopefully we're going to have a bit of fun with this and try and just ramp out that big beefy, well, not beefy, big like hard hitting vehicle, and just try and get into that game and do some damage as early as we can. If you're enjoying the content, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best thing you can do to support me. If you like the video, drop a comment. Let me know how you'd build a list like this, or which units you think are worth saving up leadership for. I'd really actually be interested in hearing that, so I got, especially for ideas for future videos. But for now, I'll see you once we're in game. Okay, we have found ourselves a game. We're against Galadorian, a level 10 account playing Zuna. So this should be interesting. RN Galadorian. Okay, I'm not sure how this is going to pair into Zuna. We've got 2 things with accuracy buffs, Deadeye and Aria, both very powerful. I think, in my opinion, I'd rather those be toned down slightly, but also that the accuracy debuffs be toned down slightly as well. I just feel like that feels about right to me. Okay, so with this, we've got a little bit more flexibility. We are going first. I didn't think we were moving then. So we don't have as much flexibility, so we're going to just pop over here and take our first shot. We might as well go for the captain at this rate. We're not going to ever kill Tuzcan anyway. And in this situation, it's probably Deadeye actually, because we can just move, shoot, move, and that works out well. So we'll pop Deadeye out here and grow our Cinder back here. So the reason this matters more than normal is that we can't do both anymore, because we're not playing Broken Vengeance or Maximus next turn. We're just going to be playing, we're just going to have these units and nothing else. So we want to make sure that we can get good use out of this and put as much damage out as possible, so making the right choice really matters. Okay, if they're going to deploy onto this or there, there we go. So they're ignoring this one, which means that we could potentially try and move up onto there with Deadeye. So if we can get to here, we should be fine. So we take this shot first. Hopefully hit. We did miss, but it's fine. We're putting the accuracy onto here anyway. So we're going to move over here. Oh no, we forgot. We didn't make a correct choice. Well, that's a mistake. We should have moved on to this. Oh no, Deadeye hasn't moved yet. It's fine. We can just pop over here. We should have moved on to this so we could get the extra attack out. But I guess for here we're just going to grow an extra bit of Cinder and try and get some move blocking options going. Maximus is going to be able to shoot us here, which is unfortunate, so maybe we should have just moved down, but I wanted to force them onto the point. We can get the 6 damage onto Toltecan this turn, which does also mean that they're going to have to move forward with Zuna to defend this. So they'll get 2 damage here, but we'll get enough to deal with this, I think. But we do have to remember to pick up one of these orbs, otherwise we're not going to have enough. So this is probably... I mean, this is Arya. Looking at that, we know it's Arya from that positioning. Because it's a small base, so going outside of it. Yeah, there we go. The interesting thing about this is that Arya's not going to really get a good line of sight onto anything. So we can move down here and just deal with Toltecan, basically. And this should work out well for us. Reduced accuracy shouldn't matter, because it's not all the way on it. So we've still got 100% there. 99 here. And we're going to just pop over to here. We're going to refresh. Can we get onto both of these at once? No. So we're going to just... We could force them again onto this objective. In fact, Astra hasn't moved yet, so if Astra moves over here, we'll just take that one and go here. And then we're going to deploy Switchback. So we're going to go for the damage early on. Maximus is over that side a bit more now, so I think we're still okay with Maximus being the target. We want to be as safe as we can in this direction. And we're going to Ozos onto Switchback. And I guess just grow a Cinder here to block a bit of accuracy. Okay, there we go. So we've ramped out our unit. This is the game plan. This is what we're trying to work at doing. We need to see how we can really make use of this. If they move up here, we're just going to go burn their face, basically. No matter where they put the defensive shield here, it's not going to be enough to slow us down a significant amount. And we're going to try and do 12 damage to the enemies, to the enemy captain here, and see what we can work out. So Toltecan's obviously coming back. We can potentially block that in and just push through damage here. Now we're going to have 4 Cinder next turn. So to me that screams either Arya Maximus or Broken Vengeance to Tonia. Okay, so Beatrice is here. Beatrice getting the heals, but they can't move back that far. So I actually think we're in a very good spot here. So our accuracy is 92. So I think I'm okay with that. We're going to switch up first and just go for the 92% immediately. Or what we can do is if we can move to here and keep a decent shot, we can just shoot this. We can... Do you know what? I actually think releasing Ozos over here is probably even just better. So we'll take 92 first. They're not going to have too good of a chance to kill us on the backswing. So we're going to move here to get the 76. So we'll push over here. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what we go for. We might as well go for this again, but we're going to into the breach first. We're going to push another... Things we could also just go for a unit, but I think pushing damage onto them is more worthwhile. We'll move back here. We'll grow a Cinder here to block that in place. Oh, I put it too close, that was a mistake. So what we're going to do is place Arya back over here, and Maximus just to go in here to block things out a little bit. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. So it's hard for them to get out. We've got a lot of defensive positioning. They shouldn't be able to get both Toltecan and Beatrice onto us unless... Actually, no, they may be able to. They may be able to go around here and Toltecan there. And that does kill... it does kill Switchback, which is a big deal here. Arya's not going to do anything. Okay, this is good. At least they're hitting Toltecan. Toltecan can do a little bit of damage to Maximus, and then they can finish it off with their max. But in theory, we could have access to lethal damage next turn. If we can get Astra onto this... Oh, that miss as well is very unfortunate. They could block us off. Yeah, that works. That absolutely works. So we need to figure out how we're going to get this damage over here. And it could just be that we Deadeye and move to just get the best angle that we can. Because at this rate, we only really need one big shot to go through. Torian as well. Okay. One joint shot. So I think we do have to just push for damage. What they're looking for here probably is just some healing. If they've got some good healing, then that's really bad news for us, but good for them. They're going to put accuracy debuff over there, that's fine. So, what's our accuracy like? Only 4% there. So can we get anything better than 4? Not really. Interesting. So this is 100. So we're going to stay there because this blocks a large amount of that movement. Deadeye's got 34, so we're going to Ozos onto Deadeye. Push into here. We're going to move Astra this direction. We're going to into the breach. Take this shot. We're going to move slightly out the way. We're going to Ozos over here again. And take that shot for 100%. And then, can we do anything with Maximus, really? Probably not. So we're just going to pop him over here. And, in fact, maybe we should have shot there. That was a mistake on my part. So we don't have any more Cinder to take, so I'm just going to actually... Is there anything better than 4? Not really. So I'm just going to take that shot and move backwards. And then we're going to just deploy aggressively onto them. So hit and run coming in here. And then we want Detonia, because Detonia can avoid line of sight issues. So all this accuracy doesn't matter if we've got Detonia in place. And honestly, for that same reason, I'm going to just move Max up here to block things in place. Maximus is going to die, but we're in a very safe spot here. You know, they can't move, we've got all the pressure on, and I think, to be honest, we're just going to end the game before they can do anything. The damage from Switchback was actually a really big part of that. Can you imagine if we were in the same situation, but they had 12 more health? Like, I think we'd actually be forced to deal with units rather than dealing with all of this. So, what they're going to do is interesting here. We can, so both of these already have buffs on. If we get to live with Deadeye, we can buff again. We've got Arya here who can do this. We've got Detonia who can attack. So we've got multiple different ways of avoiding that accuracy debuff and making sure we can just get the damage in as and when we need to. Okay, that's all missed as well. I think we're fairly safe here, to be honest. I think Detonia is the safest way of doing it, but their Arya up here hasn't really contributed. That's the first shot I think Arya's made. So I think the fact that we managed to use all of our resources to contribute to the game plan and they didn't is a big reason as to why we're just picking this game up now. So there we have it. I think this worked, and I actually think Switchback was a really invaluable part of that process. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. Like I said, the Neck Divine wasn't necessary, but I could see a world in which we want to keep our units alive and go for that sort of thing. And all in all, I had a great time. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Subscribing is the best thing you can do to support the channel. I'm really trying to push for 500 at the moment on our journey to 1,000. But most importantly is I want to thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a good day.